Amphibious vehicles carried troops and supplies straight from sea to shore, making major World War II invasions possible. Here's a complete list of those vehicles. First up, United States. GMC DUKW. This six-wheeled cargo carrier was absolutely vital. It earned the nickname Duck from its military designation, DUKW, a true logistics workhorse. It connected ships directly to shore, bypassing jammed ports. Up next, Ford GPA, remembered by American troops as the Seep. Its lack of performance in high waves led many to prefer the much larger DUKW. It was often provided to Allied nations via Lend-Lease. M29C Weasel, originally conceived for snow travel, this small tracked carrier proved excellent in swamps and mud. The C variant added flotation tanks, making it fully amphibious and incredibly versatile. Now this is the LVT-1, the ancestor of all American landing vehicles tracked, or LVTS. It was first used at Guadalcanal. Primarily intended for carrying supplies, its armoured protection was minimal. LVT-2, an improvement over the LVT-1, featuring a better suspension system. This made it faster and more reliable over rough terrain, both on land and in the water. Then LVT-3, known as the Bushmaster. This design moved the engine forward, creating a huge ramp at the rear. This dramatically improved troop and cargo offloading under fire. LVT-4, perhaps the most mass-produced LVT variant. It also utilized the stern ramp design introduced in the Dash 3. It became essential for transporting artillery and bulk supplies across the beachhead. The next one, LVT-1, the first fully armoured version of the LVT, used as a close support fire vehicle. The A stands for armoured. It mounted a 37mm gun turret. LVT-4, a major firepower upgrade. Instead of the smaller gun, it mounted a powerful 75mm howitzer. This made it crucial for suppressing enemy positions during landings. Now this is the LVT-5, the final evolutionary step of the armoured LVT series. It incorporated a powered turret mechanism for faster tracking. It saw limited action before the war ended. Next up, Germany. Volkswagen Schwimmwagen, the most recognizable German amphibious car of the war, based on the Volkswagen Beetle chassis. It used a small propeller at the rear for water propulsion. Triple SGC. It was used primarily by engineer units and police forces. Landwasser Schlepper, translated literally as land-water tractor. This massive unarmoured German vehicle was designed to tow barges from water onto the shore. It was slow but powerful. Next on the list is Japan, Type 2 Kami, the Imperial Japanese Navy's most common amphibious tank. It featured large detachable pontoons for buoyancy. These could be discarded once the tank reached the beach. Type 3 Kachi, a larger, heavier Japanese amphibious tank designed to carry the Type 1 47mm gun. It was developed late in the war and saw very limited use. Type 4 Katsu. This highly unique Japanese design was actually an amphibious transport vehicle. It had a submersible hull and was intended for fast supply runs. It could also carry torpedoes. Toyota Tsuki, a Japanese experimental amphibious truck developed by Toyota. It was intended for transporting troops and supplies across island chains. Few were actually completed. Moving on to United Kingdom, Sherman 1000, the most famous duplex drive tank used by Allied forces. It used large canvas flotation screens and propellers to swim ashore, a critical component for the D-Day landings. Valentine 1000. The British initially adapted the older Valentine tank chassis for duplex drive technology, or DD. It served as a swimming tank trainer before the heavier Sherman model took over combat roles. Terrapin Mark I, a massive, unusual British amphibious truck. It featured 8 driven wheels and 2 engines. It could carry a phenomenal amount of cargo, though its handling was notoriously difficult. Finishing off with Soviet Union, T-37A, an early Soviet light amphibious tank from the pre-war era. It was thinly armoured and intended for reconnaissance and communications tasks. Many were lost early in the war. T-38, an improvement on the earlier T-37A. This Soviet tank featured a slightly wider hull, which increased its stability in the water. it was still only lightly armed. Then T-40, the final, most successful Soviet light amphibious tank of the immediate pre-war period. It was better protected and featured a modern turret. It served crucial roles in the defense of Moscow,